Now that he's a free agent, could WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg be on his way to AEW? Well, AEW President Tony Khan has spoken on the matter. Speaking of Tony Khan, he's also spoken about if Mercedes Mone could appear at the Forbidden Door 2 pay-per-view later on this year. Dax Harwood hopes fans can accept FTR's decision at the end of their AEW contracts. Adam Cole has a segment that's set for this week's edition of AEW Dynamite. A heel del Vikingo is going to be facing off against Kenny Omega in a dream match, and he's commented on his upcoming AEW debut. We've also got an update on the House Rules tour, also that it is developing with AEW, with more dates being added every single day. And could Jeff Cobb be on his way to AEW? Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. And let's start off talking about none other than Bill Goldberg. Of course, he's now a free agent, and could the former WCW star appear once again on the networks that made him famous, that being TBS and TNT. Now, in an interview with Adrian Hernandez from Bet Las Vegas, Tony Khan took some time to make a little news amid discussing the upcoming Las Vegas pay-per-view AEW Double or Nothing coming up in May 2023. Khan commented on the recent free agent status of wrestling legend WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg by saying, quote, "I have a lot of respect for Bill. I think Bill Goldberg is a great professional athlete and has had a great career in pro wrestling and is a very nice person. He's a household name in pro wrestling, so it's going to be interesting to hear that he's a free agent, so that's something to follow. He's one of the biggest names in wrestling and certainly will be something else to keep an eye on for us. Bill is an exceptionally exciting name and one of the biggest names in the sport. It's certainly a big thing for us to pay attention to. I would take notice of that. It's interesting." Interesting indeed, Tony Khan. Certainly he's saying that he's paying attention, and one star is interested in facing Goldberg in a retirement match. Of course, Sean Rossap of Fightful Select recently provided an update on Goldberg's status, revealing that the former Universal Champion has officially been a free agent since his WWE contract expired at the end of 2022. Following speculation about the wrestling veteran's next move, Raj Giri of Wrestling Inc. noted that Goldberg is considering having one more match, tweeting, quote, "And he's saying he wants a retirement match." Swerve Strickland appears to be interested in this potential retirement match, with the AEW star saying, quote, "Give him to me." Now, Goldberg last wrestled at the February 2022 Elimination Chamber Premium Live event, unsuccessfully challenging for Roman Reigns' Universal Championship. Strickland is considerably more active, of course, most recently wrestling alongside his Mogul Affiliates tag team partner Parker Boudreaux on the March 3rd edition of Dynamite, but it would appear that maybe the Mogul Affiliates faction is already over. But could you see Goldberg as being all elite? Could we see Goldberg once again on TBS or TNT inside of a wrestling ring, the same way that he started his pro wrestling career? So it would be something that would definitely be full circle, but isn't really in keeping with what AEW usually does. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. One person that has been speculated with AEW is, of course, the former Sasha Banks, now known as Mercedes Mone, the IWGP Women's Champion. Could it really be happening? Could the IWGP Women's Champion Mercedes Mone be a step closer to walking through the Forbidden Door? In an interview with Adrian Hernandez from Bet Las Vegas, as I mentioned, Tony Khan was speaking about the upcoming Double or Nothing pay-per-view in May of this year. And when he was asked about Mercedes Mone, he said, quote, it's a very encouraging thing to hear. I have so much respect for Mercedes. I think she's such a great pro wrestler and certainly one of the best in the world. Any wrestling company in the world, including AEW, is fortunate to have Mercedes. Currently, she's the world champion for our partner, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I think she's a great champion for them. I'm glad she brought up Forbidden Door, as it's going to be an exciting event. Certainly, the shadow of Mercedes is looming large in New Japan right now. When AEW and New Japan clash at Forbidden Door, it will be very interesting to see what happens. She's certainly one of their top stars, and it makes for a very interesting situation going into Forbidden Door. As previously mentioned by Mercedes herself, the world apparently continues to await that call from maybe Tony Khan or maybe even New Japan Pro Wrestling. But certainly, could Mercedes Mone actually appear at Forbidden Door? And would she face off against Jamie Hayter? Would she be in the ring once again with Saraya? Of course, that was the person that arguably ended Saraya's career with that accidental kick to the back of the neck. So Certainly an interesting one. Could we see Mercedes Mone not become All Elite, but represent New Japan Pro Wrestling at Forbidden Door later this year? Anything certainly is possible. Now, a lot of people are talking about the future of FTR in All Elite Wrestling, and an AEW star hopes that the fans can respect their decision when their contract expires. Of course, it's no secret, according to Dax Harwood anyway, that FTR's AEW contracts are set to expire in April of this year. Following months of back and forth, the duo have announced that they have made their decision. On this week's episode of FTR with Dax podcast, Dax Harwood discussed what the major factors were and where they ultimately made their choice. He said, quote, "I think it's going to benefit my family. I think it's going to benefit our fans as well. And I think they're going to enjoy what we decide to do. If we decided to stay with AEW, so many of the WWE fans would say that, they were too afraid to go back. On the flip side, if we decided to take our career and go back to WWE, the AEW fans would say we turned our back on the company that made us." Despite not letting fans know what their decision actually is, Howard says he and Cash just one thing from the fans, regardless of whatever their choice is. He stated, quote, "I just hope that ultimately all wrestling fans can respect the decision that we make, that we have made, because it's going to benefit us." Of course, FTR made their return to All Elite Wrestling to confront and beat down the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Guns, at AEW Revolution. Austin and Colton Gunn will actually defend their AEW World Tag Team Championships tonight on AEW Dynamite on TBS. Logically, you would think they would win, and they are setting up a match at some point against FTR. But if their contracts expire in April, then they would be free agents by the time Double or Nothing comes around. So could they actually challenge for the titles before then? Or, like some of the rumors have previously stated, are FTR actually locked down into longer-term deals with AEW than they're actually letting on? Of course, I mentioned tonight is Dynamite live on TBS, and Adam Cole will be appearing on the show, baby. In February, All Elite Wrestling announced its brand new one-hour reality show entitled AEW All Access, set to premiere Wednesday, March 29, a week tonight following AEW Dynamite. Along with the announcement of the new program, Adam Cole announced he will make his in-ring return on the same lead-in edition of Dynamite ahead of that show. On Tuesday, AEW President Tony Khan announced that fans will hear from Cole ahead of his in-ring return on the March 22 episode, that being tonight's episode of Dynamite on TBS. Of course, it remains to be seen who Adam Cole's return opponent will actually be on next Wednesday's show, but we could possibly and most likely will find out tonight on Dynamite with someone confronting him. The question is, who does Adam Cole face off in his AEW in-ring return against? Now, one of the biggest match, if not the biggest match on tonight's show, is the Dream Match that's being promoted by AEW, which features Kenny Omega facing El Hijo del Vikingo. Now, Del Vikingo has commented on his upcoming AEW debut against Kenny Omega. All Elite Wrestling announced that the AAA Mega Campeon El Hijo del Vikingo will make his AEW debut against Kenny Omega on tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. The two men were actually supposed to square off at AAA's Triple Mania in December 2021, but Omega was sidelined with a litany of injuries following his AEW World Championship loss at Full Gear that year. Speaking to Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated, Vikingo commented on the Dream Match with Kenny Omega. He stated, quote, "I'm excited to be on television on Dynamite and show my skills to the world. I've wanted this fight for so long. It's an honor to come to AEW and wrestle Kenny. I have a lot of special moves that I want the world to see. Some I've already mastered, and I want to show those off. And I want to show off some moves that people have never seen before. I am very nervous. I am coming to Kenny's home in AEW. I am nervous to represent Mexico, but those nerves won't get in front of me. It will only add to my excitement and fire. I am fighting for all luchadors that came before me. I am going to bring the Aztec fighting spirit. This is going to be a fight like you've never seen before." Vikingo has taken multiple independent dates for the likes of GCW and Warrior Wrestling since securing his visa to work in the United States in the fall of 2022. The Vikingo vs. Omega Dream Match joins the lineup for Wednesday's Dynamite that also includes Sting, Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy facing Kip Sabian, the Butcher, the Blade in a trios match, as well as Jon Moxley versus Stu Grayson, of course, who is now officially back in the company, wrestling his first ever singles match for AEW. Jeff Cobb, could he make an appearance tonight on Dynamite, or certainly a future episode? AEW, of course, announced the second annual Forbidden Door show for Toronto this summer, and we could be seeing our first piece of Forbidden Door goodness very soon. Of course, Kenny Omega won the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship from Will Ospreay back at Wrestle Kingdom 17, and his next challenger appears to have made himself known. Jeff Cobb has been calling out Omega in recent weeks, and he spoke following his New Japan Cup final match earlier this week, discussing the backlash he received from fans following his callouts to Omega. When my New Japan Cup ended, I set my sights to goal before the New Japan Cup started, and that is you, Kenny. I tried countless times for you to accept the challenge from me. I've done everything. I've mocked you, I copied you, I mimicked you, and nothing came about it. The one thing that did come about was a lot of backlash, Kenny. The funny thing is, it wasn't backlash from you, it was backlash from Twitter people. Honestly, to be quite honest with you, it shook me. For Twitter to be angry at me because I mimicked and I teased Kenny Omega, I've come to the conclusion that I could really give an F what Twitter thinks. You see, Twitter isn't a real place. The real place is in that ring. Now, Kenny, you've been dodging me and effing dodging me for a month. Yeah, I said it. Twitter is effing fake. Kenny Omega, Jeff Cobb, that's real. Continuing on, Cobb then teased he would be coming to St. Louis to knock on Kenny's door. He added, quote, "Now, Kenny, you can either accept my challenge, which you haven't done in multiple times. So the last and final warning, it's not even a warning, I'm telling you firsthand, I'm coming to St. Louis and I'm going to knock on your door. I'm going to find the EVP's dressing room, knock on it, and see if you let me in, because I'm done with the trash talking. I'm done with the Twitter attacks, because we all know how you handle, oh so well, a verbal beatdown. So, Kenny, I'll see you in St. Louis. Knock, 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 Kenny. Let me in, please." So maybe we'll see Jeff Cobb on an upcoming episode of Dynamite. Maybe we'll see him tonight attack Omega after his match against Kingo. Finally, the AEW House Rules debut was a roaring success, according to many, and a huge update has emerged on AEW's plans to run house shows following their recent House Rules event. AEW notably held an untelevised event on March 18 in Troy, Ohio. Following the event, there was a lot of speculation about the future of AEW house shows. AEW has now announced a partnership with the Feldman Agency and Turbo Entertainment to bring the House Rules event series to Canada later on this year. Of course, the House Show series will arrive in Canada on July 15 with an event at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. AEW has released the following press release about all of this, saying AEW All Elite Wrestling, the professional wrestling promotion taking the world by storm, today announced an exclusive partnership with the Feldman Agency and Turbo Entertainment, Canada's leading live entertainment companies. The partnership will bring AEW's new live event series, AEW House Rules, to local venues across North America and provide fans with a spectacular and engaging environment. In addition, the Feldman Agency and Turbo will also provide support to explore multifaceted brand partnerships. AEW House Rules is a new non-televised live event series that will showcase exhilarating matchups featuring AEW stars. The series kicked off this past Saturday, March 18 in Troy, Ohio at the Hobart Arena and featured Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Dr. Britt Baker, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and many more. AEW House Rules makes its Canadian debut on Saturday, July 15 at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome during the legendary Calgary Stampede in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Further show dates to be announced too. Each AEW House Rules event offers an even more immersive experience for fans, including customized merchandise, unique ways to engage with featured talent, and in-show interactions different from what is featured on televised AEW programming. As we expand into the Canadian market, we will leverage the Feldman Agency and Turbo's relationships and expertise to bring our fans an incredible live event experience, said Raphael Morphy, AEW's VP of Live Events. We're continuously looking for ways to engage with our fans in new and memorable ways. Our AEW House Rules series is just the beginning. AEW quickly identified the Feldman Agency and Turbo as the perfect partner to enhance our efforts in the Canadian market, said Jeff Jarrett, AEW's Director of Business Development. We look forward to a strong partnership as we expand throughout Canada. We are excited about the partnership with AEW and the new opportunities we'll be able to produce with this collaboration, said Joel Baskin, Vice President of the Feldman Agency and Turbo Entertainment. Since its inception, in a very short amount of time, AEW has seen remarkable growth, providing high-quality fan experiences in the world of professional wrestling. We are thrilled to have the privilege to work with Tony Khan, Jeff Jarrett, Raphael Morphy, and the rest of the AEW team. So expect more when it comes to house show dates in Canada later on this year. But there you go, guys. It's the latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember, you can join the WN365 roster by clicking that join button, and I'll speak for you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.